Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back once again to another episode of TekTopia. To catch you up on last episode before we start this one here, the main thing we did was build the smithy, which you can see just over my shoulder here. We also hired a couple of blacksmiths, but they are nowhere to be seen. Just having a quick scan around, see if any of them pop into existence. But oh, there's one of them right there, probably heading to the smithy right now to do some work, because they have been working very wonderfully in between episodes, crafting up lots of iron gear and tools for the rest of our villagers, doing a frankly marvelous job, unlike he is right now getting up the hill. He's really struggling there, isn't he? But that's not the only thing we built last episode. We also made this thing right here, which isn't really the best angle of it, so let's actually just fly down to this spot right here and take a better look. This is our sea creature, which still needs a name. I haven't seen the comments on the last episode just yet because it hasn't gone live, so next episode we will give that guy a name. But yeah, those are the two builds we did last time. Let's talk about what we're going to do this time though, which is going to be something absolutely mega inside of this mountain far underground. We are going to be making another underground tree farm, and this one is huge. I mean it, it's really big. It's going to take me absolutely ages to do, I can assure you. It's much bigger than the one we have in Asteria, much bigger than the one in the undergrowth. This is kind of next level. But yeah, we need a tree farm because I don't like the look of vanilla Minecraft trees, and I want to make some custom ones over here at some point, so I want to hide these away underground. And yeah, I'm going big instead of going home. Hopefully I don't regret this, but before we start the actual project there, we need to do some serious resource gathering, because obviously this giant room is going to take a lot of blocks, and that's actually already done. As you can see, my tools here have taken quite a beating, but regardless, I time-lapse them with replay mod, so here's some satisfying footage of resource collecting. Hopefully all of those resources should tie me over nicely for the extent of this project, although I'm not too confident in that. I'm going to need a lot of blocks here, so I may have to go back and get some more. And by the way, I did get more quartz than what you just saw me grab at the end there. You just can't really make a cool time lapse of like the camera following me around the nether 4 hours on end, so I only had to do a small portion of that. But yeah, got tons of quartz, tons of wood, tons of concrete, and a bunch of other stuff ready to go. And we're almost ready to actually start the project here and begin hollowing out the area to build it in. Like you always do when you build anything underground, you have to dig out the area first, which for me is going to be around 95,000 blocks if my calculations are correct. I believe they are, which obviously is, it's a big number. That's a lot of blocks I got to mine, and I only have 4 mending pickaxes. I got the 3 in here and then the pickaxe of the undergrowth. I also have this one which is efficiency 5, so combine that with haste 2 and you can instant mine. Just like that. Whoops, too much. But yeah, I think to begin with here, because I would kind of like to do this time lapse in one fell swoop and not have to stop it to mend up my pickaxes, I'm just going to go and fly around to a couple of the other villages and see if they got any pickaxes there that are pretty good and that they're not being used. Well, that was completely useless and a waste of time. No pickaxes whatsoever, not even any diamond ones that I could find. I did, however, take a look inside my house here. I might as well actually show you. Crash into the doorway, head through the middle level and down to the bottom one, where we actually have a basement under the basement. Is this the basement? I don't really know. Basementception. This is my AFK fish farm that I haven't used since probably episode 3, but I did use it quite frequently and got a whole bunch of stuff here, as you can see. More importantly though, a bunch of books such as, this is a great book by the way, look at that, that's wonderful. A bunch of efficiency and unbreaking basically, and I'm gonna grab 3 diamond pickaxes and chuck a load on there. And I've just realized they don't have mending, but that's not really that big of a deal. They'll just be a one-time use sort of thing. New pickaxes have been enchanted and old pickaxes have been mended. We are now ready to start work on this ginormous underground tree farm. I'm really excited for you guys to see this finished product, but it's gonna take me a while to complete, so for what's gonna be a few minutes for you guys will probably be a few days for me. Well, this already hasn't gone to plan. As you may have guessed, I wanted to make a montage of the tree farm being built up, and of course the first thing we had to do was clear out the area to build it in. And I wanted that time lapse to be continuous with no stops whatsoever, so that's what I did. I dug for 5 hours straight, stayed up till 2 AM getting it all cleared out, and then when it was done, I quit the game, let the replay mod footage save, when it crashed and deleted the file. So, no time lapse unfortunately, which is a shame because the room, as you're gonna see now, is pretty massive, and it would have looked super satisfying seeing all of this being cleared out in like a matter of seconds, but that's just the way it is sometimes. I'll make a note not to do massive time lapses that last hours and hours, because apparently that was just too much to handle. But in case you want to see what this potentially could have looked like in replay mod being time lapse, here's a smaller scale of what it could have gone. So hopefully that quenches your satisfying thirst as much as this one would have. I'm sure it did, because that was basically the same. But no, this is a big room. I'm walking around this thing now and just realizing quite the size of it. It's pretty large. It's probably the biggest thing I've cleared out in quite some time. We do actually have a zombie spawner up there that I'm just going to leave. I don't really like breaking them. It feels wrong to do that, and it shouldn't actually get in the way because of the shape of the room, how it's going to be like arched like this. So really this room probably isn't going to have like a third of its space used up. It's all kind of being wasted, I would imagine, a lot of it, but it's just easier to kind of have this like blank rectangle shape to build in, rather than trying to fit it to the actual size of the room that is going to be built here. So yeah, that's what we're going to do now, but before we do, let me just show you the resources I collected from this, because it's quite interesting. So I didn't grab any of the stone, diorite, granite, dirt, or anything. I just have tons and tons of stuff of. I did take some andesite here, as you can see, and some gravel, but I filled up on that pretty quickly. And then I have all of my ores here and broken pickaxes and few other odds and ends, which I'm thinking the lapis, emeralds, and diamonds, and maybe the coal and redstone as well. We'll do like a, to make up for the lack of satisfying digging time lapses, we'll break all of those down once we got the farm built up. But yeah, that's what we're going to do now, actually build the room itself. Fingers crossed we don't have any crashes this time. Echo! Hello! Man, oh man, this is a giant haul, isn't it? This has taken me quite a while to do. It's been a good number of days since the last clip, as you may have guessed. This is a big project, probably the largest build I've done in a single episode of TekTopia. Could be wrong, you guys will have to correct me if that's the case, but yeah, this is pretty giant, and it's actually completely pointless being this high. The ceiling is like 50 blocks up. Trees don't grow that high. I could have made this like 15 blocks tall, so all of this is entirely for show. I mean, I guess we can get some taller trees, but I don't actually want taller trees. I'd rather have them shorter. I'm debating with actually putting an end rod up a little bit above it, just to kind of like stop the growth and stop it making the big trees that touch the logs here. But yeah, big haul. I know you just saw me build it all, but let me kind of walk you through my thought process. So there is a lot of the cyan texture that we have with our roof. So just the wall, the concrete powder, and the concrete. Got some quartz in there as well, because I think that looks quite good, just to kind of break it up. But I've done that for most of the ceiling, simply because adding in super detailed stuff like this where we have at the bottom would have taken me absolutely ages. Already took me long enough to just add in all of the texture variation throughout the whole ceiling, so I didn't want to do something super complicated like this for the entire thing. Plus, I think that may have just been a bit too much detail. So yeah, lots of cyan throughout the roof. I don't think it looks too bad. I know it's a bit samey, but that's kind of what you have to do with giant builds like this if you don't want to over detail it and make it look just crazily busy. But yeah, we do have these patterns on the lower section of the wall with the white terracotta and cyan behind it, alternating as we go along, which I think looks quite nice. Of course, tons and tons of end rods just scattered throughout here to light up the builds, to light up this room, so I don't think we have any mob spawns. There's a couple of dark spots, but I don't believe we actually reach a 7, which is nice. But yeah, this is basically just a combination of a bunch of stairs and slabs and full blocks to create these patterns, which I think looks super duper nice. And then we have this bigger pattern on this wall over here, which is, if it isn't already obvious, a giant tree. And it's meant to be like this giant mega tree in the middle of a forest. So we've got some green terracotta behind those parts there. And then it eventually reaches up to the sky, high above the rest of the forest, with some light blue concrete, I think that actually is, with the sun. The chandeliers, which I'll actually fly up and show you now, are a little bit in the way of the mural, which is kind of annoying, but I do quite like how these look. You can get a bit of a easier vantage point from up here, but yeah, I think the mural is my favorite part. I do love how that turned out. I spent a while trying to make a tree that didn't look weird, but, you know, didn't look super complicated. I don't know. I think it's okay. It's like a giant redwood tree, except it's probably the wrong colors. But hey ho, it's all good. And then on the floor, we've just got something super simple. A bunch of spruce planks in like a grid formation. And then some... is this just normal green or lime green? No, green concrete powder as like artificial grass, I thought looked quite cool. And then we have 40 spots for trees, so that'll be 4 spruce, 4 birch, 4 oak, and then 4 jungle. That's the other one. So yeah, this for the hall itself, aside from the trees, is actually all done. How do you guys like it? Do you think it turned out well? I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, I've been staring at it for a long time, so I'm not even too sure anymore. But yeah, you guys can let me know how you think this turned out. And then the final thing we actually have to do, which I'm not going to do just yet, but it's actually to sort out the entranceway up the top and have a staircase leading down to this level, because we're all the way at Y11. We need to go up to like Y80, I think. So yeah, we're going to get to that in a little bit. I'm a bit tired of building. I want to do some just normal TekTopia stuff. So we're going to head up to the surface and do some things there. So obviously I've been down underground for a very long time, and there were actually only a couple of occasions where I had to come up to the surface here to help my villagers out. I wasn't sleeping the night away at all, not even once I don't think. I was just letting the guards defend the village. And they did a wonderful job. I don't know if I was so far underground that like chunks weren't being loaded or mobs weren't spawning. That is definitely a possibility because nighttime is usually crazy hectic round here. But yeah, no, there were only a couple of occasions where I had to come up and help. So well done to the guards. But the main reason I'm up here talking about how long it's been since I've checked on these guys, is because I want to have a look at the storage just to see what type of items we have, because yeah, it's been a long time and the villagers have just been working away, so I'm kind of interested in all of the stuff here. These are the iron armor, or the iron armor pieces that I've made. They like to pick certain chests to fill up. There's a little bit of birch in there, lots of spruce. We do only have a very small number of villagers, so I'm not expecting anything too crazy. But this seems to be pretty nice. Are those some iron tools? Yeah. I allowed the blacksmith to kind of just make whatever they wanted to. Before I went down, got 4 emeralds. That must have been from a necromancer that they killed. I let them fend for themselves one time. That was quite scary, but they did okay. Oh, here's the mother load. Look at all these carrots and wheat. Lots of beetroot, lots of birch, and some iron armor that has been crafted up. Okay, awesome. And the last one, lots and lots of oak and a little bit of jungle as well. That is actually really quite good. I mean, I'm not that surprised since it has been so long. But yeah, soon enough, Lumberjack, you will be down underground in the mega tree farm, not having to, you know, harvest these from the surface. You're just going to have to walk a lot of steps. Your calves are going to be absolutely massive. Something I had better do is actually check on the miners down here, and more specifically the mine shafts, because I did change them over halfway through just to give them like random, yep, they are all inactive. So as you can see, these are fully mined out to the village border, that one is. The others are a little bit longer. So I just kind of like dug holes in the wall for them to dig out, and as you can see, they've cleared all of them as well. And I think that's the same for every single one. I don't really want to just have to make random mine shafts in this place, so I think what I'm actually going to do is just gather all of these together and temporarily just make a, you know, rubbish looking mine shaft, something that doesn't look particularly good, just in a straight line, and allow them to actually do some digging, because right now they don't have anything to do. As you can see, they're very lost. A druid is definitely on the cards, but I can't afford that just yet, nor do I have any homes. So yeah, gonna gather all of these up and just place them in a little bit of a temporary mine shaft, so the miners can actually do something, because they've probably been waiting around a while, just very bored with nothing to do. Something a little bit like this should do for now. Obviously, it's absolutely amazing and much better than the previous mineshaft, so don't get too attached to it. It's not going to be staying. However, it is at the way of everything, so they shouldn't dig into anything through these 4 holes, and it can also be expanded for a good number of blocks. So yeah, that right there is just a temporary solution until we get some druids that can actually replenish the mines and keep up with the miners' digging speeds. I can, however, now just go ahead and fill in some of these gaps of the temporary mine shafts I had before, but leave the ones with the end rods open. And here they come, just in time. Back to digging, boys. The final thing I want to do up here on the surface before we start work on the staircase and entranceway to the underground tree farm is related to this thing right here. That is my signpost for the tavern that we built a couple of episodes ago, and I asked you guys if it would be okay if I did just a little bit of cheating. Nothing major, but simply so we can hop into creative and get some cool items. That sounds really bad if you didn't watch the episode, but let me explain. So in TekTopia, there is an item called the beer. Basically looks the beer. It's just beer. It's a beer item. It looks just like the tavern icon, but obviously not shiny with a border around it. And it's unattainable in survival. You can only get it through creative or commands. And I asked you guys if you would be okay with me quickly hopping into creative to actually do that. And I saw 0 comments opposing the idea and a lot of people for it. So we're going to go ahead and grab the price we're going to pay for it and do it all on camera, just so you guys know I'm not spawning in anything else. We're going to pay a block of diamond for it. I think that is a fair price to pay, and then hop into game mode 1, aka creative. And now's where I just type in diamond blocks and get myself... Oh, no, that's for afterwards. No, we want the bear items. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those. And then we can go to the survival inventory and destroy that diamond block. And then very quickly hop out into survival like nothing ever happened. And now we have the bear icons. So that is all I wanted to do. Hopefully you guys are still okay with it. Obviously, yeah, I'm not actually going to spawn in those diamond blocks, don't worry. But we're just going to exchange these out for our beer in place of water, because that makes a whole lot more sense. And guard, if you could let me do that, pick up the remaining items, and we can now have a look at what this looks like. That right there is really cool, actually. Thank you guys for letting me do that. I love how that looks. Once again, I have hugely underestimated how long a Minecraft project was going to take me, but I'm happy to say that this is now fully complete and I'm ready to show you around. So this right here is our entranceway with bridge leading across that the lumberjacks can take, and if you guys have any suggestions of how we can make this look a bit fancier, please do let me know down in the comments. I am very open to those suggestions. However, if you have any ideas of how we can improve the staircase I'm about to show you, I probably won't do them, not because I don't value all of your input, I always do, you guys know that. And it's also not because I really like the look of this staircase. It's okay, it's not my best work, but it will do. I'm not doing it because this has taken me such a long time to complete. So we're going to take a walk down here, and just bear in mind that everything you will see has been duplicated onto the other side as well. Why I did that, I don't know. It was a really silly idea, and that's not the only thing that was a silly idea, because the walk we're taking here is going to have to be the walk the lumberjack takes every single time they want to chop down a tree, and admittedly it's only going to take them, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. They can't sprint like I'm doing here, so maybe a little bit longer, but you know, it's much longer than just walking to a tree on the surface. So this whole idea was really not the best for efficiency in the village, but hey ho, it's done now. So yeah, we eventually end up at the bottom, and I made the entranceway here look a little bit better than what it was before. In fact, it was non-existent. So yeah, this is what it looks like, and the underground tree farm is still the same as it was before. Still got to get rid of the beacon and repair the ceiling up there and the floor, which is what those two blocks are doing. But yeah, there is only one last thing I need to do with this tree farm, which we're going to have to save for next episode, because I am really running out of time for this one, is to add in some sort of way for me to get down quickly every time I need to check on the trees, because I don't want to walk that staircase. I don't care if the lumberjacks have to, I don't want to do it. I have an elytra, I could just fly down, so I'm thinking I just make some sort of drop here that I can fly in and out of. But yeah, as I said, we'll have to save that for next time. So you know what, we're not actually going to walk up the staircase. I don't want to do that again. And yes, I know there's levers on the show, do your best to ignore them. That's what I've been doing. But yeah, we are now ready to actually plant the trees down here. But before we do that, we should probably head back up to the surface and destroy the ones up there. The trees on the surface level have been chopped down, and the saplings underground here have been planted. None of them, however, have grown just yet, which means the lumberjacks are out of a job for the meantime until these start sprouting actual trees, which doesn't seem to be too likely at the moment. I'm hoping it's just because the fact we're underground and they don't have access to direct sunlight, and it's just generally a little bit darker. I don't think it's too dark. 8 light level, I believe, is the lowest that it has to be until they just don't grow. But it's been a couple of minutes and nothing at all, so hopefully we get one eventually. I'm going to keep an eye on it as well as the lumberjacks, and fingers crossed something starts happening soon. But whilst we do that, let's head up to the surface and do something fun. We are going to grab our Fortune 3 pickaxe and mine all of the nicer ores that we got in the beginning of the episode when we dug out the large hole. I believe it's everything in here, so we'll take the redstone, the diamond, lapis and emeralds in particular, that's what I'm most excited about, and get a Fortune 3 pickaxe, this one right here, and we'll go chop it all down in a nice satisfying time lapse. Not too bad at all. 51 emeralds and 49 diamonds, and if we quickly fly up to our base at the top of the mountain here and combine that with what we had before in this chest, over a stack of emeralds just from mining out that big hole. Even if this tree farm doesn't work, it's worth it for that alone. Just kidding, it's really not. I'm really hoping this works. I haven't checked on the trees just yet. Okay, here we go, ready to check on the trees. I'm keeping my head down because honestly, I don't really want to look, but here we go. One! One tree, is that really all you've done down here? It's been probably 5 to 10 minutes, I would say, so that's like enough time for trees to grow. I was running a little bit of an experiment here with this one, trying to give it a bit of a higher light level. As you can see, it's up to 10. Why that tree? I don't understand. I'm not really sure, but hey, at least we got one tree down here, so now we can test the lumberjacks can actually pathfind all the way down here, which is all I really wanted to do. Oh, there's another one. Fantastic. Okay, I hopefully it's not because I have to be like close by. I'm not sure. I'm actually going to be not pre-recording this series anymore. My plan is now to actually do these 1 week after another, so there shouldn't be as much of a time between when I read your comments and when I record the next episode. So if any of you have any ideas of why this is being slow or being weird, I don't know, tree mechanics of any kind, let me know and I'll be able to remedy that next episode, in theory. But yeah, I don't know, I'll leave it a bit and go upstairs and check on the lumberjacks, I think. So we have 2 lumberjacks in this village, I think, could be wrong in saying that, but one of them is over there doing nothing at all. And you're going in the wrong direction. I was really hoping you were going to walk over there and chop down some trees underground, but you look a bit lost too, Madison. They have their axes, they have their saplings, they have their food. They're just wandering around aimlessly. Have I messed up big time here, everybody? Do lumberjacks not track trees that far away? I don't know. Yeah, you're not doing anything. You're just wandering around aimlessly. I might have messed up here, everybody. I don't really know what to do if I have. I have one last plan that hopefully will work, and that is bone meal. I have force grew every single tree down here. My plan is that this is enough for them to recognize, oh, there's trees down here, we should go chop them. But it's currently nighttime now, so we'll have to wait until morning to test that out. Good morning, Hagar, or however your name is pronounced. Are you going to chop down a tree today? I don't know where the other lumberjack is, she's somewhere else in the village. But yeah, I'm gonna follow this guy and really hoping he walks over there. It's not looking good. That's the wrong way, lumberjack. Ah. Oh. Okay, where's the other one gone? Is she around somewhere? No, we got Sad Farmer. She's coming over here. She might cross the bridge. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Nope, she is going the other way. Okay, I've messed up big time here, everybody. I don't really know what to do. I think I'm just going to plant some trees again up here on the surface temporarily and think about what to do with everything we've done in today's episode. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas of how we could resolve this, please, please, please let me know down in the comments. I have just had an idea of something that could potentially work. However, I'm going to have to save that for next video as I am fresh out of time for this one here today and need to start wrapping up the episode. But hopefully we can get this sorted next time. I would still like to see your suggestions of how we could resolve this, because it might just be something super simple that I've overlooked and have a quick fix to it. I very much doubt it, but just in case, I want to see what you guys have to say. But yeah, hopefully we can get this sorted, because it would be a real shame to have all of this hard work go to waste. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. But everybody, that is going to have to do it for this episode here today. This mega episode, this mega-sode, if you will. A lot of time has gone into this one right here. I actually haven't been able to record any other of my videos this week. I would usually do TekTopia, a tutorial video, and my survival series. All of the time this week has gone into this video right here, so it's not often that I ask this, especially in TekTopia, but if you did enjoy the video, a like rating on it would be massively appreciated. Thank you very much for doing that. And on the topic of not being able to record survival or a tutorial, my upload schedule is going to be changing in the future here, and if you watch any of my other videos alongside TekTopia, you're going to want to check out the survival episode coming out on Wednesday the 14th next week, because I go a little bit more in depth talking about the changes that are going to be happening. However, I should say, because I know a lot of you are probably panicking that TekTopia isn't going to be as frequent anymore, don't worry, TekTopia shouldn't actually be affected. It should still remain as every Saturday like it has been since we started this series, so no need to panic if you're just a fan of TekTopia. But that, everybody, is going to be it for this episode here today. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy, apart from the fact that it doesn't work, everything we did here today. But nonetheless, I hope you did have fun watching it. Thank you very much for doing that, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.